Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a very nice Dead by Daylight. I know I sure am. And today I'm doing what gamers are best at doing, and I'm here to complain and bitch. Uh, Mostly because we've gotten the new developer update for August. I guess 1st of August counts as August. We've got the new developer update in response to the recent mid chapter, and it is terrible. It is absolutely dog shit, and I want to sit here and vent about it a little bit and tell you why I think it's terrible. There's only a couple of changes for this developer update based on the new mid-chapter update with all the perk changes. We're getting a few extra changes here, and despite the fact that they're small, they've somehow managed to miss on every single one of them. In the preamble here, they just talk about, launch the largest balance patch to date, change up to 40 perks. Yes, they did. Now that we have a chance to see how things play out, we have prepared our first follow-up round of changes to fine-tune the balance. Please note that the tweaks listed here are by no means the only changes we may make. Blah, 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 blah. First, I want to talk about my stance on the patch originally. I have liked the newest patch, the new mid-chapter update. Despite there are some flaws without a doubt. There's some things here and there that could be made better, but I like it overall. I think it's pretty decent. What they've done. I mean, this is one of the biggest balance patches I think we've ever gotten for this game. And there are obviously going to be some kinks and weird things that they need to iron out. So I'm all for them coming back and adjusting things. But I think they need to think about it a little bit more than what we're getting here. First of all, it's only been like 2 weeks since the patch has dropped. I think definitely there should be more time. People are still just DCing every game because they're mad about, certain things not being the way they are. People are still not sure what the hell is the meta even right now. We got people post things, a new meta build every single goddamn day. I think there just needs to be more time till we really make any changes at all to adjust for these sorts of things. But whatever, they're going ahead and going to go do it, and they're not doing it well. I already stated that. Usually I'm pretty easy on behavior, all things considered. Usually I try to see the logic in where they're designing things, even if it's the craziest stuff, For example, the Billy rework. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Billy rework as someone who's plays Hillbilly and has played Hillbilly in the past a good bit, but I could see where they were coming from with many of the changes they did in the Hillbilly rework. This, I can't even logically think of how they're even coming up with some of the changes here. Let's just dive right in. I don't want to take too long. First up, we have Thanatophobia. A lot of people have been complaining about Thanatophobia recently, but most people have just been complaining about it for really two killers, that being Legion and Plague, because they utilize the perk so well. It also can be utilized pretty decently on Nurse, too. Any killer that can injure people very quickly is going to be able to be really good with Thanatophobia. I also think they just shouldn't have buffed Thanatophobia in the first place. If you're going to do a flat nerf to gen speeds, don't buff a perk like this. Wait and see how things work out, how the new gen speeds feel, then changing a perk like this. But it's regardless. People have been complaining about it. So what they're doing, they talk here about how, the Thanatophobia slows down generators pretty significantly, particularly with killers who have an easier time keeping multiple survivors injured. Legion and Plague. They mention them by name. This can make Thanatophobia feel a little oppressive, especially paired with slowdown perks. Definitely true for those killers. And check this one out. To address this, Thanatophobia will receive a rework in the 6.1.2 update. Each injured, dying, or hooked survivor will now provide a 2% action speed penalty. If all 4 survivors are either injured, dying, or hooked, Thanatophobia gains an additional 12% penalty to survivors' action speeds. This change will make Thanatophobia nearly as potent as before if all survivors are injured, but will require more effort on the killer's part to get full value. Now think about this for about 5 seconds. Think about it for any amount of time more than anyone at Behavior thought about it for, which is about 5 seconds. How does this fix anything? First of all, this change only makes Thanatophobia worse for the people who already weren't good at using Thanatophobia. For killers like Clown, for killers like, I don't know, like Billy, for killers like maybe, Bubba, for those kind of killers that don't really, can't really get a lot of people injured very quickly, it's not going to be good on them. It's not going to be good on them. It's going to be even worse on them now. But for the killers that were already good at keeping people injured, Legion and Plague, Nurse, Blight maybe, a really good Blight, it's still just going to be good as good on them. You didn't change anything. Sure, it's going to be a bit easier to play into the perk as a survivor. You can at least have one person healed up and know that they're not going to be getting the full value of Thanatophobia. But this really doesn't change it for the two most biggest users of Thanatophobia, which is Legion and Plague. They're still just going to be able to injure people fast enough. In fact, having this perk plays into Legion and Plague's entire play style and what they want you to do. As Legion, you don't care if people heal because you can injure them in literally not even a second. As Plague, you want people to have to heal because you want them to go use your fountains and heal up basically through the fountains so you get the better part of your power. All this does is actually just encourage the survivors to play in to the killer's hand. So the choice becomes, it's basically a lose-lose scenario. Either you try to outplay the perk by having, one person heal up, cleanse at a fountain, whatever, and all you're doing is wasting time. You're wasting time against Legion because Legion can just injure you super quickly. You're potentially giving Plague a really big snowball power if you cleanse at a fountain. And if you don't do that, you're just dealing with regular Thanatophobia. We're back to square one, where you're just dealing with a super oppressive version of Thanatophobia for these two killers. This rework is completely backwards of what it should be. It pretty much just doesn't do anything for the killers that use it well, and just unfairly punishes killers that already don't use it well. So killers that weren't using it before, definitely not going to use it now, and killers that were using it before, they're still just going to use it all the same. Maybe a little bit different, maybe slightly worse, but it just didn't change anything. I don't even know where they thought of this, like who came up with this. Whoever came up with this just needs to go back to the drawing board for more than about 5 seconds. Think about it for maybe 10 seconds this time, and come back with something a little better than whatever this is. Metal of Man, a perk that no one ever thought needed a change. Metal of Man's been through the ringer a long time. Metal of Man is a high risk, high reward perk. The perk is meant to be something you have to commit to, but the payoff is huge. The payoff is you get to ignore a hit. You get to have endurance, basically, when you're injured. That's really big. And let's just read this. With the endurance status effect updated, Metal of Man continues to be an outlier. While it provides a similar effect to endurance, the perk currently does not deactivate when performing a conspicuous action. This is by design, which is reflected in the perk's description not mentioning endurance. Since activating Metal of Man is so difficult, it wouldn't be fair to lose your hard-earned protection hit so easily. We wanted to clear up this inconsistency and give Metal of Man a slight rework while we're at it. This first paragraph, it sounds like they're saying, Metal of Man, yeah, it's a perk you gotta work hard for. That's why the payoff is so great. But this next paragraph will surely take it for you. Taking 2 protection hits will now activate Metal of Man. That's cool. Granting the endurance status effect while endurance effect is active, your aura will be revealed to the killer if they are further than 16 meters away. Like other endurance status effects, performing a conspicuous action will cause it to deactivate prematurely, and it will not affect you, or not protect you, from entering the dying state if you have deep wounds. Why? Why was this a change? You just talked about up in the first paragraph how Metal of Man is a high-risk, high-reward perk. It's a perk that is difficult to get off, since it's activating Metal of Man is so difficult. Your words. It wouldn't be fair to lose your hard-earned protection so easily. So why are you making it so that when you perform a conspicuous action, you lose the endurance effect? You have just completely disregarded the entire first paragraph. You might as well just get rid of this first paragraph and just skip to the second paragraph where you talk about how you're literally going to destroy Metal of Man and remove it from the game, basically, because who's going to run this? You are better off running New Dead Hard, and I don't even think New Dead Hard is that bad, to be honest. That's a conversation for a different day, but New Dead Hard is still pretty okay. But why would you ever run this over New Dead Hard? Or Off the Record? The only reason Metal of Man was good was because it gave you permanent endurance when you were injured. And the reason that was so good is because you could take an unexpected extra hit from the killer. But it would take you a lot to get that extra hit. It took a lot of time. Taking 2 protection hits is still difficult, especially in solo queue. It still requires a lot of commitment. And for it to basically be, hey, you know, you can't do anything now. If you want actual value from this perk, if you want those 2 protection hits you just took to, you know, actually be worth anything, congratulations. You can't do anything productive anymore. You can't heal anyone. You can't heal yourself. You can't do a generator. You can't touch a totem. You are basically stuck bullying the killer or getting in the killer's face to force them to hit you. It's just, this is a perk that's going to be nigh impossible to use in solo queue now. And it's a perk that is just going to be used in Swifts mainly to set up, you know, indefinite body blocks and stuff like that. This is just terrible. No one wanted Metal of Man ever to be changed. Metal of Man was already, you know, it had its niche as a high risk, high reward perk. Now it's high risk, like no reward, basically. Pretty much negative reward, actually. Like, yeah, good luck trying to get this off and also, you know, participate in the match after you get the effect even, because you're going to want to be able to, you know, take a hit with that. So I don't know why they made that change. I just threw my AC back on, so you might hear some background noise. Apologize for that. But moving on from Metal Man. So already we're 0 for 2 right now. Thanatophobia rework, making 0 sense. Metal Man rework, making 0 sense. And here's the one that really just... This is icing on the cake right here. Just remember, this patch was meant to change the meta. This patch was meant to be a meta switch up. They wanted, you know, new perks to be ran. So Pain Resonance, Merciless Storm, and Dead Man's Switch. Pain Resonance was changed so that it no longer forces survivors to momentarily stop repairing the generator. This effectively prevented the perk from activating Dead Man's Switch on its own. The killer would need to chase them off of the generator manually. However, this change caused an unexpected combination to appear. Since the new version allows survivors to continue working on a generator, Merciless Storm would continue spawning an excessive amount of skill checks, nearly 40, after the generator regresses. To remedy this, we are restoring Pain Resonance to generator interruption. Though the killer will still not receive a notification, this will cause Merciless Storm to no longer combo with Pain Resonance. That said, this would bring back the combo of Pain Resonance and Dead Man's Switch. Therefore, we'll be reducing the duration of Dead Man's Switch to 30 seconds in order to make the perk combo less oppressive than it previously was. So, Behavior just basically said, hey, we're going to give killers back the meta that existed in the previous patch. There you go, the old meta's back. Really? Fucking really? Are you kidding me? Did you literally in like 10 seconds forget what the fuck the entire purpose of this patch was? So let's digest this real quick. Pain Resonance. It's going to kick you off of generators again, but it won't give the killer a notification. Here's the problem with this. If you run Pain Resonance and Dead Man's Switch, which is what everyone's going to do now if they actually push this patch to live servers, it doesn't matter if Pain Resonance doesn't alert you, because guess what? The aura of a generator that's being blocked is white, and you can see the little entity tentacles around it. So guess what? It has a notification now. They just gave the information back to the combo. This is literally just pre-patch. It is pre-patch, slightly worse because they nerfed Dead Man's Switch, which is actually bad because now that they've nerfed Dead Man's Switch, all they're doing is saying, hey, this perk is slightly worse unless you run it with its one combo, which is Pain Resonance. So there you go. You run them together. That's what they're saying. They're saying to you, you know, run this meta that we wanted to get rid of. Go ahead and do that. So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking there. You'll be able to see the generator's aura in white and what generator is being blocked. So you'll know what generator got regressed, and you'll know what generator the survivors are working on. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, this is just garbage. Like, I don't know. Because, see, this right here irks me a lot, because this is kind of a slippery slope in many ways. In the sense that they just brought back what was the old meta pre-patch. What else are they? And they said in the beginning of this developer update that, you know, please note that the tweaks listed here are by no means the only changes we may make. We'll continue monitoring and adjusting things based on your feedback. So what does that mean? If they did this, that means everything could come back. You know, DS having a 5-second stun, that could be back. Dead Hard, sure, bring back old Dead Hard. Why not? You already fucking brought back the old killer meta. This is the thing that bugs me about this, is they're basically just rewinding on what they said they wanted to do, which was create a new meta. And they are introducing a meta that had already existed since, you know, the artist came to the game and dropped Pain Resonance on us. They just brought that back. And there is so many better ways to go about this. Yes, the Merciless Storm skill check combo, very annoying. First of all, you don't really encounter it that much because, you know, you have to basically have a generator be at the point where Merciless Storm is affecting it, and then have someone get hooked on a Scourge hook for that combo to basically work. So it's already a pretty, like, you know, you have to have kind of a certain setup for the combo to actually happen. And what they could have just done is when Merciless Storm activates, just put a cap on how long it can activate. Make it so if Merciless Storm is active for 15 seconds, it's done. It goes away. You congratulations, you've passed the skill check test. It just deactivates. There is zero reason that they couldn't have just done this. It is the easiest way to do that. Just put a duration on Merciless Storm. I don't get why they did it this way. In fact, the only reason I think they would have done it this way is they wanted to reintroduce this combo again for some reason that they wanted to supposedly get rid of in the last patch. So yeah, we're 0 for 3 right now. Thanatophobia, terrible. Metal Man, terrible. This shit, absolutely terrible. Yeah, I don't know what Behavior is thinking with this patch. And really the cherry on top, well, first of all, Clown's getting fixed, which is kind of nice. Good for the Clown players. I like playing Clown every now and then. Glad to see him back. But really the cherry on top, matchmaking incentives still won't be fixed next patch. So that's awesome. Thanks, guys. That's great. Good job on this terrible dev update. Thanks for dropping, like, probably one of the worst dev updates I've ever seen, and ending it with one of the hallmark features that you guys revealed at the anniversary stream. Gonna announce that still won't be fixed until, 6.2.0. Awesome. Great job. Really double thumbs up for that one. Yeah, you can tell I'm pretty annoyed about this. And usually I'm on Behavior's good side. Usually I'm pretty nice to Behavior, like I said in the beginning. This is just terrible. I can't even feasibly think. I can't even stretch my imagination far enough to think about why they would make these changes. I can't put logic into any of them. My advice for Behavior, as someone who is, not at all extremely, low tier content creator, my advice to Behavior is just fucking can this patch, dude. Literally can it. Push the Clown changes, push the Clown hotfix. That's good. And there was one other more hotfix actually. They made it so they got rid of the glyph, orange glyphs or whatever. Those glyphs were super annoying. It like made this annoying ass noise play when you picked up the glyph. They're like changing that or whatever. That's great. Push the Clown change, push those glyph changes, can the rest of this patch and go back to the drawing board, because this is not what I want to see, to be honest, and it doesn't make me excited for these other changes that they might roll out on us, so let's hope fingers crossed, you know, enough people make a big enough stink that maybe they push the patch off a little bit or reconsider. I'm not holding my breath. Maybe they will. Who knows? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What do you think of this dev update? Do you like this dev update? I don't know why you would, but do you like it? If you do, please tell me why. I'd appreciate hearing that opinion. Otherwise, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Help support the channel. It encourages me to make new videos. I make other Dead by Daylight videos. You'll probably get a little thangamajang at the end of this video pointing you to one of those other Dead by Daylight videos. Click on that shit. Watch my other stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully with more of a positive attitude. See ya.